crazy comics and stories. It's me, your charming and delightful old Uncle Rat Bastard. And at the other end of the series of tubes and wires we call the internets is Joe, Crazy Writer. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm pissed off. Why the hell are we doing it again? We did it last year. Jeez. I had to take your look what I did to your gallbladder just to get you to skip one. Damn it, next time, 2 kidneys. I got to go for kidneys. Something with 2 eyeballs. On my nuts, testicles.
Spleen.
I am so, no, he's only got one of those. I am so tired of Festivus. I just don't know what to think about it. And that's my grievance. The only thing that could save this episode is if we had some special guest stars.
Well, believe it or not, we do.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Special guest number 1. Please sign in and state your name for the audience.
I am Wolfie Claus. Yes, it is me, Wolfie, as Santa Claus. I am here for people to sit on my pole and tell me what they want or what they don't like. Sorry, it's Festivus. They sit on my pole and tell me what they don't like.
Well, Festivus, it is a bare aluminum pole for Festivus, but...
Hey, is that a crack at me because I'm not wearing pants?
Joe, no. I told you, we have company.
Put it on my...
No. I'm good with this.
To the zipper. Oh,
and we might want to be careful about the poll talk. A certain contingent of listeners may find that offensive.
And special guest number 2, please sign in and give your name to the crowd.
Making with the saving. It's Panels and Pizza's very own Adam Vermillion.
Hot snot! We're going to get fed today.
Yeah.
Woo!
Now, I have a question for our resident pizza expert.
Oh, yes.
There was recently an article that said that there is a Minnesota style of pizza. Now, I have my opinion, other people have their opinions, but you are our resident expert on pizza. So, is there a Minnesota pizza style, much like a New York, a St. Louis, or Chicago style?
I've always used that term, the Minnesota style. I call it's that stupid ass square cut that I fucking hate. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I have to keep a bit of decorum on my show because I want to pretend to be a pro. This fucking square cut, man. I don't get it. I just don't fucking understand it. And it's so ridiculously Minnesotan. It's like up there with fucking Duck Duck Gray Duck. It's Duck Duck Goose, you ninnies. It's like, let's cut our pizza in the squares and call it soda style. I just, whatever. I'm sorry.
Not pop,
I'm already,
soda.
I'm already grieving.
I had square cut pizza when I was in college in Macomb, Illinois. They serve square cut pizza in Canton, Illinois.
I had it in Hannibal, Missouri. You know,
it's not Minnesota. It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Look, you gray duck. I don't care what you say. You can say whatever the hell you want about our pizza, but you stay away from our Duck Duck Gray Duck.
And that is a special guest number 3.
All I will say is my exile to Iowa has saved my daughter from learning your backwards ass game.
Hey, there's a reason why Mississippi flows south. It's because Iowa sucks.
Still better than Missouri. Missouri, where they show the Beverly Hillbillies on PBS. Special guest number 3. Please sign in and give the crowd your name.
Well, that would be me.
No!
Snuck in. Yes.
No!
Out! Kick him out!
No! Don't! No!
Open the door!
No! No!
I've had enough of you!
Yeah, you're back to Downton Abbey.
All right, he's gone.
Special guest number 3. Please sign
that
in.
Would be me. That's me now? Am I going to be thrown out?
No.
I'll, as long as Wolfie's attached to your hand, I'll let you stay.
Oh, goody. Yeah, Daniel Mohr. I'm an artist. I do stuff with Cory. I'm going to stay quiet so I don't get thrown out.
And you're going to be doing more next year, aren't you?
Yes.
Aren't
yes,
you?
Mohr's doing more.
Mohr's doing more. That's right.
Before we get too far along, Cory, I just want to say, since this is basically going to be just one freak fest, you know, we always do our freaking and geeking, and since we're just going to be complaining bitterly about things both, justified and not justified. I think when we get to freaking and geeking, we should just skip the freaking and just end on geeking.
Joe, we did 3 hours of geeking last week.
But we didn't have a freaking and geeking. We actually are you telling me we're going 2 weeks in a row without freaking and geeking?
Yes, this is a very special episode.
We can't have 2 special episodes in a row.
Yes, we can.
Special episodes. You're just pissed at me because I out-trumped your giant-sized man thing by getting my own omnibus man thing. And you don't want to hear about it.
No, I don't.
Fine. That's my first freaking. Cory's being a pisswad. Wow.
We can have 2 special episodes. I mean, Blossom, pretty much after the first season, every episode was a very special episode.
Well, yeah, but we're talking like short bus special episode, but okay.
Hey! Those episodes were directed by Bill Bixby.
That's because he was dead. It was cheaper that way.
Don't give me dissing the magician. Oh, yeah, and he played the Hulk, too.
Yeah.
He played the... Joe, is it just me, or do you actually have the most Festivus spirit of us because you don't like it?
Hey, I got a lot of issues with you people. How ironic.
Well, it is the morning of Festivus when this episode drops. Later on today, we will be having the Feats of Strength, although I will not be inviting the special guests over because HR has said that Wolfie always makes a big mess when somebody tries to pin him.
Wait, you mean I've been eating White Castles and tacos all day for nothing?
Well, that's the Festivus feast.
I just think it's because you guys don't like the fact that I feel like I've won no matter what.
Wolfie, we don't like it because you can reach your nuts and we can't.
Speak for yourself.
We never.
Adam's been doing yoga.
I'm impressed. Hell, I know if I could reach, I'd never leave the house.
My feet did touch the floor from both the plow today, so I'm just saying.
And look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're upset about that. I can reach all of your nuts.
All right, enough of this.
I was going to take my pants off, but I'm leaving them on.
Yes, it's probably a good idea to put on a second pair.
Shave my bikini zone for nothing. Fine.
I told you I would have waxed it.
I will begin, although Joe has really begun, but I will begin with my first grievance, and that is I am sick to death of these garbage fans who've decided that all the characters need to be perfect white men, and any creator who does not do characters that are perfect white men must be harassed and doxxed and annoyed. There's this group of...
Cory?
Yeah.
Didn't you just do this one about 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, but the recording died.
Oh. All right.
Which itself is a grievance.
Damn right it is! Fucking Pamela! We had a wonderful fill-in episode that we recorded back in August. I open up the Pamela file, and it's this for 35 minutes.
So we're saving that for one of our April Fool's episodes.
We're saving that in case somebody tries to come back to the show.
Is Paul still dead?
Paul is dead and I miss him. Miss him.
Anyway, so
Joe buried Paul. Anyway, back to these garbage fans. This week on Facebook, there was a discussion about Squirrel Girl, and a bunch of these garbage fans showed up. Squirrel Girl looks like she's Down syndrome. I hate that book. It's stupid. Nobody should buy it. And in answer to another question, the creator, William Murray, who's also known for writing the Destroyer novels for a decade, he writes Doc Savage novels, he's taken over Tarzan, and soon will be writing new Spider novels. Started talking about working with Steve Ditko, and they just descended on him like a plague of locusts, driving him not just from the discussion, but from the whole group. There's another group that does these videos, and they brag constantly, we have 50,000 subscribers, which is more than all these stupid comics Marvel's putting out with black people in them.
Jesus.
What the hell?
Wow.
What?
It's a good thing I'm not violent, or else I would do like Jay and Silent Bob. I would get the names of all of the people who do all this, show up at their house, and punch them in the face.
How many people want to kick some ass?
Make sure you get Wampa 1 in there.
Oh, there's a whole list of them. I'm glad that Mark
It
Waid.
is you who are all the ball lickers. Along with Wolfie.
Yes. Thank you for the acknowledgement.
I do like the fact that Mark Waid actually calls them out and says, "So you live in this area? I'm at this convention. Please come see me." And he says none of them have come to his table. I will pay for your ticket. Come see me. We'll sit down and we'll chat.
Well, first they have to get out of their Cheetos and Mountain Dew induced coma to roll up their parents' steps. Enter the sunlight without exploding. So that
And
right
push
there
all
is
the Chuck
already
Dixon comics out of
work.
the way. Wait, did I say that?
Or I love the anonymous guys, that give out death threats. I'm like, seriously? You cowardly motherfucker. I'm going to give you a death threat. Anonymously.
Please do it. You'll pay for my kid's college. Come on.
Yes.
All right.
Kill these people. I'm telling you.
But only anonymously, right?
Oh, he'll never tell. Now, we
Jimmy?
would go to Joe, but Joe already gave a grievance. Dan?
What?
We're skipping Joe because he started with a grievance.
Oh, right.
You just made the list.
I made the list
No,
of Joe.
Continuing on that same thing, what it was is that there's a contingency of anime fans that are very similar. But the thing is, a voice actor that I know who did Dragon Ball Z, Xenosaga, a bunch of other things, he has had some huge medical issues this year where he has to get a lung transplant and heart surgery, and people have been online going, well, it's good. If he dies, they'll put somebody else voicing the characters. It's like, really? Wait a minute. Just because you don't like the voice, it's not even the voice acting. It's just you don't think the voice works properly for that particular character. You want the guy to die? Trust me, they'll put somebody in just the same. In fact, they'll probably try to get somebody who sounds just like him. What the hell? But why this is such a big deal to these people? It's an entertainment, and that's all it's supposed to be. This isn't like your life. Your life is so important. Or
Take two.
no, I'm good. Go on.
Wolfie, stop touching him.
I can't help it. His hand's up my ass.
Adam?
I'm going to stay with the theme right now and keep it recent, and that's all the fucking little whiny babies crying over The Last Jedi not like lining up with their last 2 years worth of little fan theories. So, it's I kind of go back. It goes all the way back. I started noticing this with like the Matrix movies, like the second Matrix, third Matrix. I guess it wasn't what people thought it was going to be in their heads, and it's just has gone from there. And the Last Jedi stuff, I've just reached critical mass with my irritation with it. You know what? If you didn't like the movie, that's great. That's
fuck you! Disney's got your $15 anyways.
No shit. But when I see articles and stuff like fans are starting a petition to get The Last Jedi officially removed from canon, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, seriously? It's like, how about you start a petition to get Trump out of the goddamn White House, and not a movie that doesn't affect anything at the end of the day. Officially removed from canon. I mean, I don't know. It's just enjoy things, don't enjoy things. I don't care. You know, the movie was weird, It wasn't Star Wars-y in a sense that all the others have been, but at the same time, I thought that was really bold to do something different. So, and obviously Rian Johnson made people happy because Disney, Lucasfilm, whoever, just isn't going to give the dude his own goddamn trilogy of movies if they're not like, oh, hey, look what he did. Something different in Star Wars. And it goes back to 2 years ago, and I'm included in this because after my first viewing of The Force Awakens, I was like, that's a little too much like New Hope. But now they've done something different.
The whole canon thing, I don't care, and I'm tired of the people who lose their minds over it. Yeah. On a Star Trek group, people were losing their minds over Star Trek Discovery. And I, being a bit of a smartass, quoted Mystery Science Theater 3000. Just repeat to yourself that it's just a show. I should really just relax. Oh my God, you thought I'd killed their puppy.
You did. Cory, I'm a little upset about you bad-mouthing canon. I mean, William Conrad was really good in that series, and I don't know why you're all pissy about it. It was one of the best Quinn Martin productions ever done.
I have seen one episode of that show, Joe, and in it, the bad guys capture him and tie him up in his car, and they aim his car at a cliff, and it's heading over. And the way he escaped, he used his stomach to move the steering wheel so that it, spun out rather than going over the cliff. And all I could think is William Conrad probably read that script and went, you fucking sons of bitches. It's bad enough that they constantly call me fat, but now the fact that I'm overweight is the thing that saves my life. You can all go to hell.
I have a follow-up question for Adam.
Oh, yes, follow away.
Yeah. So you're saying that they shouldn't petition for The Last Jedi, but they should petition for Trump out of the office, correct? That's what you said?
I was just making a poor analogy or comparison. No. I don't know.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, no, you're right. So in other words, forget The Last Jedi, but get rid of the last Nazi.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
At least the head Nazi.
Okay.
And we at Solitaire Rose Productions would like to apologize to any Nazis listening. We don't really
fish rots from the head, they say. So, hey.
The only Nazis we like are Colonel Klink and Sergeant Schultz.
I thought I was going to say dead ones.
No. We like Colonel Klink.
No.
The
if there are any Nazis that are listening, please come on over. I have an oven just right for you.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah, a little too dark there. Besides, why don't we just get the Bear Jew?
Oh,
yeah. Bear Jew?
Bear Jew.
That's a Quentin Tarantino reference. Joe?
Hey, Cory, how good's your Italian?
Not that good.
Buongiorno.
Gotta have a pizza reference.
Oh my God, that was so great. Joe!
Of course, DiGiorno. DiGiorno, the Reich rises.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Joe, I guess we'll allow you to give a grievance.
I've got a lot of baggage with you people.
Oh, seriously, God.
Literally baggage.
Grown.
Because I'm in TSA and I work in baggage and I got to look at Christmas baggage. I'm telling you, there's one thing you can say in baggage that you cannot say to your significant other. Folks, you got a lot of faith in that little nylon zipper. The way you overstuff these bags, it's a freaking miracle that they even make it. I mean, I'll tell you, we look at every single piece of baggage that comes through, and it's always the ones that are overstuffed and just packed to the gills that just drive us crazy. I tell you, these are things that will never be said. Well, I'm sorry your plane went down, but you know that piece of luggage was locked and TSA wouldn't go in it. If it's locked and we got to go in it, we're going to go in it. If you don't believe it, go to YouTube and look at all the creative ways people have figured out, non-TSA ways, of getting in the luggage. And you will never put anything valuable in your luggage again. I'm sorry the plane went down, ma'am, but, you know, it just so happened there were gift wrap packages in that luggage, and, you know, TSA will not open them. Don't gift wrap any gifts because we will go in them if we have to. This happens at the checkpoint, too. Oh, I can't believe you're opening Johnny's gift. Well, yeah,
And
but
then
I can't
Cory
believe
asks
you're
Joe,
bringing
what's
Homie
happening on
Stars
the
too."
eBays?
Oh, I got that grievance coming too. Trust me. People just don't pack smart. You know, when they're shipping baggage and gifts across. A case in point: don't put laptops against the edges of the bag. I'm talking the bottom or the top. Put them in the middle where there's a little bit of cushion. Don't put bottles of wine, beer, jam on the edges. It's good to wrap them up and things like that, but don't put them in the middle. Funny thing is, yes, we can read the signs that say fragile that they stamp on it, but they have things called diverters. They have mechanical monstrosities called kickers. They don't read fragile signs. Funny thing is that, huh?
So the fact that they're called kickers is kind of a...
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, these things are designed to move 100-pound bags. You're not allowed to ship a bag over 100 pounds because that's cargo. But there are people that push that limit right to the edge, and these kickers have to move it. If you were accidentally on a baggage belt and met one of these kickers, it would either kill you or break your back. And if you're lucky, it'll kill you because you don't want to be around with what'll be left of you afterwards. So just think of this when you're packing little Johnny's gift to bring halfway across the country.
Oh, I'm thinking about it.
And
Joe?
believe me, we got more baggage coming.
Joe, how should I pack my Hello Kitty vibrator?
Underwear. Oh, okay.
Just use it while you're going through.
Make sure the damn thing's turned off and clean.
A friend of mine was on tour, and she talked about how she whipped hers out and started throwing it at her bandmates, and to see how quickly they would pass it back and forth to each other. And I asked her, would that be called twat potato?
Hater twats.
Oh.
I am so glad to be part of this podcast.
My next grievance, there are too goddamn many comics being published.
Oh,
What?
the hateful things he says.
What?
Marvel published over 80 books in November. DC published over 80 books in November. If you wanted to buy all of Marvel's, just the comics, not the trade paperbacks, not the hardcovers, not the beloved omnibuses,
Cory, you have a problem.
$350 to buy
Oops.
all of Marvel's comics.
You have just witnessed a Corygasm. Just say the words omnibus.
Omnibuses.
Oh.
And that's not counting all of the stuff that IDW is publishing, all the stuff that Image is publishing, all the stuff that everybody else is publishing. You want to know why comic sales are down? Because there's too goddamn much. You're spreading it thin. I've talked for years about the long tail. Well, the problem is the long tail is getting so long that nobody's making a profit. Marvel doesn't need to publish 80 books a month. They really don't. DC doesn't need to publish 80 books a month. And how can you tell? Because the Young Animal thing started with huge sales and now, we got to reboot it.
What, they're
Slow
already
down.
rebooting it?
Yes, they're rebooting Young Animal.
After a year?
Yes.
What?
Well, those things can push 100 pounds.
So I bet if Marvel and DC and everybody else just kind of calm down a little bit and quit dumping tons of shit on the market, Each
Yeah,
individual
make
book
your
would be
shit
a
good
little
shit.
healthier. It's kind of like when Joe Quesada took over Marvel and he went, there are too many X-Men books, and he trimmed it down to like 3 or 4, and their sales went really up, but within 2 years they were back to 12. Well, and then a few years ago, we're going to cut down the number of X-Men books. Well, now they're back up to 20.
You're not excited about X-Men Puce?
How about X-Men Plaid? That's the one I'm getting.
Knowing my favorite band, me too.
Or, who's going to get a solo
team,
book
right?
next? Bird? Mimic's going to get his own X-Men book.
Oh, Jesus.
If it ties into the story, that's fine, but just, I wonder if they're so worried they got so many freaking characters that they got to pull this shit out just to keep, the trademarks and copyrights going.
I don't think they have to worry about keeping the trademark to Iceman.
I don't know. I seen some of those Frigidaire ice makers. They're eyeballing that trademark.
I mean, it's not like it's Solo and he's really popular.
Dan?
Yeah.
Your next grievance?
My next grievance.
Hey, whoa, what about Wolfie?
What? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
picking up for you, my felt-covered friend.
I'll tell
I try to ignore
you know what?
Wolfie.
I'll tell you what I'm sick and tired of. Here I am. I'm dressed up for the Christmas season, and I go house to house, leaving presents. And what do they give me? Cookies. That sucks. Why wouldn't, if the parents could maybe give me a little nookie? That would work for me.
I thought you
I'm
wanted
just
milk.
What? Well, yeah, milk would be good too, but I'd rather get it myself.
Kind of like Luke Skywalker, huh?
Yeah. So, if it comes out blue, I'm a little worried, but at least it's not red. Anyway, I go in and I ask for a little nookie, a little sex, and what do I get? I get a call to the police. That's right. I don't like this. Personally, I think we should have more love, less lockup. Okay?
Too much love will get you arrested, too.
Hey, there's plenty of love in the big house.
This is true. And I'm all for that. But
The after lights are out.
Yeah. But for some reason, they avoid me like the plague. Probably because I carry it.
Dan?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
Wolfie should be used to this by now. That's what I do on every episode of Bad Advice. Once Wolfie gets off really, really too far into the woods, Dan?
I thought the problem was Wolfie wasn't getting off.
Yes, this is the problem. See, Adam understands. I mean,
I don't know who to be worried about, Wolfie or Adam.
Well, the thing is, what really...
Well, Adam's down in Iowa,
Cory should understand, too. Do you know the last time he got off? Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Okay, that was a bad joke. Okay, going on.
Shut up.
Okay.
I don't even know what the hell I was going to say now.
Shall we pass it to Adam?
Yeah, pass it to Adam. I'll figure something out.
Excuse me. This is a very, very, very recent grievance. Fucking Mercer Mayer. That's all I'm going to say.
Who?
Author of Little Critter.
Oh.
That's all. I read lots of Little Critter books, and they were making me late to this show tonight. So I was just like, why you got to write so many books, Mercer Mayer? That's it.
On authors, I'll go off on authors. Cory, you're one of the exceptions to this, okay?
Suck up.
Yeah, well, you'll understand because we know what Cory's posts on Facebook are. It's like a book on its own. But,
wow, that's a great idea. Take your posts and make a book out of them.
Yeah. But okay, I know some authors and this is usually, you can tell if it's a good author or a bad author, because when you go to their Facebook post, they're almost all memes and pictures. It's like, you don't know how to type? I don't understand this. However, I've read your book, so maybe I understand that you don't know how to type.
That's not writing, that's just typing.
You know, I prefer authors who know how to use their fingers.
I like authors that use verbs.
It's usually helpful. They usually go somewhere. Cory?
Actually, it's back to Joe.
Oh, it's back to Joe. I don't want to go back to Joe.
Well, that could be your next grievance.
Okay, I can hold that.
Joe.
All right. As long as you mention eBay, let's talk about my grievances on eBay. It's mostly, and I don't think any of our listeners here have done this to me, but you got this thing called buy it now. You actually buy the item, and then you never pay. Why? Why did you waste time buying it? Why didn't you just send a note saying, you know what? I found it cheaper. I don't like it. I don't like your heartbeat. Whatever the reason is, you just don't. What's even worse is when there's a thing called best offer, where, like, say I got something for $20 and someone says, well, will you take $12 for it? And I say yes. And then they never pay. It's like, why the fuck did you even bother sending me a best offer if you were just going to stiff me on it?
Because you didn't read their mind and also asked if they wanted free shipping.
Oh.
Well, then they use the word stiff around Wolfie.
Yeah, I perked up.
And that leads to another thing. And Adam, I don't know if you eBay or not, but God damn it, I am not getting in a fucking debate about condition. Everybody, they get their books and they start, oh, well, this isn't mint. You advertise it as mint. No, I advertise it as near mint. And right here I have my outdated copy of Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. And do you want me to read the near mint for you? It's not, near mint is a 9.0, maybe 9.2. It's not a 9.8. I never advertise mint books because I don't believe they don't exist. I've had several books that I've had that are like, oh, wow, this is really nice. I send it into the grading guys and comes back 8.0. I'm like, seriously? This thing was taken right off the newsstand, put in a bag, and board for whatever reason, and never read, and that's the best it gets. So I don't get pissy about condition. I allow returns. If you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, return it. It's simple, very easy.
Is story included?
No. The number one offense I have on eBay is people who never leave feedback. I leave feedback on every single sale that I accomplish. I leave it for everything that I purchase. I can't even think of the last time I left negative feedback. Even if what I bought ends up returning it, I appreciate it and say, hey, thanks for taking care of me. If everybody who ever bought from me had feedback, I mean, my feedback's pretty solid. It's like 4,800. I would be over 10,000 because I look at the number of sales I had versus how many people leave feedback. And people just don't leave feedback. And it's, really that's the only thing left on eBay. I mean, as a seller, I can't leave feedback for someone who stiffs me. What can I do? Leave a message? Oh, well, I was so glad you chose to buy this. Too bad you never paid for it. But this manners wouldn't approve. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for eBay. And I don't really complain too much about what goes on there. But, man, these are the four things that really, really grind my gears.
Straight. I'm used to people not giving us feedback. We get 1,000+ downloads a week, and we have 7 people who've given us feedback on iTunes. And I love each and every one of you who've given us feedback. I do.
Maybe that's what scares him, the thought of some Cory loving.
If you don't give feedback, you'll get some Wolfie loving.
Or whooping back. I can open the door. I mean, he's looking in the window now. Ew. Hang on, I gotta check my shades.
Next thing I'm going to complain about is the Preacher
Grieve
TV
about,
series.
grieve about. There is no complaining in this show. Everything's a grievance. What's wrong
I
with
have
you?
a grievance with the people who do the Preacher TV show. Now, the first season, it was kind of off, but they said, well, this is everything that led up to the comic series. Okay, fine. I get it. Give you a chance. The second season had all sorts of big wackadoo stuff going on in it. That I'm okay with. But it was boring as hell. There would be a really cool sequence, and then the rest of the episode would be people sitting around talking and nothing happening. They ended up at this guy's house in New Orleans for
Isn't that what a podcast is?
Something happens on this. And I don't have the voice of God.
Zod?
More like Schnod.
Ah.
But you've got Preacher, which is laid out perfectly. Tons of weird characters. An engaging plot. And instead it's... snore. I've watched sitcoms with more action.
Especially that WKRP episode with Gordon Jump.
No. It was Different Strokes that had Gordon Jump. Wait a minute. Dan?
Yes?
Your turn.
Oh, my turn.
You don't have
All
a
right.
list or anything, do you? You're just...
You're
ripping
making
it.
shit up.
Yeah, of course. That's how I do things. Actually, Joe reminded me of this. You know what? I hate
No, don't
people
blame
who-
it on me.
Oh, no, you'll understand why. People who use nouns as verbs. Like, he said he's eBaying. What the hell?
I'm an eBaying type of guy. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Oh, no.
It's not a verb.
Yeah, I just made it one. Deal with it. Sounds like a you problem.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
podcasting.
okay. But that is a verb.
Later on, I'm going to do some Amazoning.
Amazoning. Fine. I'm going to do some Corying later.
Oh, my.
I don't even want to know what that is.
Cleaning houses.
Oh. Make sure it's for someone who you don't want to be friends with anymore. Adam? Your turn.
Oh, are we still bitching? All right.
Damn right we are.
We're not even in the kitchen, and I'm not even itching.
What was that
Well,
about bitches?
Yeah. They be tripping.
That's true.
I've been getting a lot of slack for a lot of heat. I don't know. I can't think of words.
Always good to hear in a podcaster. Yeah, I don't. Me not know words.
Me no words. This
let me
moment of
start
silence
over.
for our deaf listeners.
Let me start over. Yes. Moment.
We're going to do this podcast is going to be in Braille.
Yes.
Living color.
No, this podcast is, and now we'll have a part for the hard of hearing. Adam doesn't know words very well.
He just started using verbs last week.
Like eBaying.
Just wait until we get to pronouns. All right, I'm gonna start over here. So I've had some friends break my balls about being down in Iowa. Been here for 4 months now. I really like it. I thought when I got here, I'm gonna miss the Twin Cities a lot, and it's been quite the opposite. And I tell you what, Minneapolis, St. Paul, you're making it really, really easy to live with my decision to stay here because you keep fucking closing down everything I love. So going back to Nye's being gone, and now the Triple Rock shutting down last month, my favorite club, and then read this article yesterday about something opening that should never be open. There's some Moxie Hotel in Uptown about slapping ass and pet crocodiles. or something, and they're teaming up with the Current, which I don't know how that like goes together because the Current's all a bunch of Bon Iver puss whining, and I just.
I think that's the first time we've ever heard that phrase on this show.
I think in the history of the Earth. Hey, let me Google this for a while.
So anyway,
I want to know what that sounds like.
Well, I guess you go to the Current and listen to their radio shows. Now, me, I have satellite radio, so I don't know. It used to be they were like a poor man's version of Cities 97, but I guess they've changed.
I don't know. I feel like this sexy sex bro tell. It's like I don't know. It's like let's get this thing open before like all the schmoes come in for the Super Bowl and think they're gonna get laid in the grab ass place. I don't know. It just. I mean, Uptown isn't Uptown anymore. It's a fucking Apple store and whatever the hell else is down there. And, you know, it's like you can go down there and you don't have to worry about getting shot anymore, I guess. It's you know, I don't know. The cities seem to be losing a lot of their personality. And I don't know why.
Because you're an idiot. That's why. Idiot.
Well, that much
Because
I know.
you left.
Fucking yourself out.
I know. I took all the personality with me. So.
Well, I
I
used
will
to
say-
like Iowa, but it sucks.
Well, the thing is, I have the question of Uptown is becoming like Apple. What the hell? Where were you before?
I'm
Yeah,
still
Uptown
stuck in,
hasn't
like,
been Uptown since like 92.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I still listen to ska, unironically. What the fuck do I know? I just know I see posts from friends that are still up there, and I'm just like, I'm good with this. So
We still have sharks in the Mall of America, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
and the polar sharks are in season.
And we've got Tim Hortons now.
You do. You
That
do.
is not a puss.
Yes, it is. Fuck you.
Or we can go down and get a jelly and a double, eh?
Damn right. I can get 40 Timbits for less than $10. And when I wake up from the sugar coma, things are better.
And he's in the home.
At
Yes.
Dunkin' Donuts.
And he goes there voluntarily.
Just a tool
They
of
pay
the
me.
Indian donut industry. That's all it is.
That's right. Canadians are awesome. I love Canada.
I will give Iowa that one thing is that they've got the Krispy Kremes.
Oh.
So what we're saying is Cory is Canadianing and Adam is Iowaing.
Joe, what's next on your list?
Just saying, I'm getting real used to driving on that I-80 45 miles between Iowa City and Davenport, and I have no problems with it. So.
The fresh smell of manure. Ooh, that cow's a little off. Okay.
But if I remember right, the radio that comes out of the Quad Cities, pretty goddamn awful.
That I couldn't tell you. I listened to CDs.
Okay.
See? I'm old.
What the hell's a CD? No.
It's what you rip to pirate music.
Oh, gotcha.
You fight Dolph Lundgren with it.
He's not human.
Joe, your turn.
I don't know how much longer I want to grieve on this one. Back in August, I gave comic artist Pat Broderick $800 for 2 commissions to be delivered at the MCBA, what we call Fall Con. And I guess it's San Diego's fucking every other Comic Con in the world because they have to have the generic term Comic Con. I have no idea what else we should call our beloved MSP Comic Con 2018, but, you know, maybe we should go back to MSP Spring Con Comic Book Show rather than pay those dickwads a license.
Somebody was pretty smart when they thought that up, knowing that was coming. Wonder who that was.
No wonder. Anyways, he was going to deliver the commissions at SpringCon. He didn't bring them, and, you know, we gave him a little slack. I mean, it's not every day you have a hurricane chewing up the, you know, west coast of Florida. But since then, one excuse after the other. He's coming. I'll take care of it. My wife had my feedback. I was taking care of the Facebook. She told me, but I didn't get back to it. I'll do it after the Toronto Con, blah, 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 blah. Now he's not even answering my posts. I mean, seriously, do I just want to keep a running count of how many fucking weeks it's going to be that this guy took my money and never delivered? My partner, Pat, who unfortunately had the majority of the money absconded with, he's had commissions for years that have never been filled, you know, and he just like, whatever, you know. I mean, you can't tell a comic artist, would you do this for me and I'll pay you at the con? But god damn it, I feel like a Marvel editor in the 70s, you know. He's just not. A question, I've been making it a part of my freaking, but do I really just want to keep going with this? Because I mean, it's a lost cause. Should I keep it going?
Listen to the podcast?
I don't know. I don't even know he knows what a podcast is.
Maybe he's suffered from a head injury and he thinks it's early 90s Image.
And that's the sad thing about it. You know, you don't really know. Are you having something serious go on in your life that you just can't do it? But, you know,
Have
I
him on
don't
the
care.
podcast.
I can pay you my fucking $800. I'm your goddamn customer and you're stiffing me. You know,
Death
I
Pay
just-
Red came out faster than this.
I'm just telling people, and it's sad too, because I saw Adam Hughes.
Wow, we said Deathmate and Joe didn't puke.
No, I'm ranting here because I saw Adam Hughes take a lot of shit from the aforementioned fans we were talking about. He finally said, you know what, I will do commissions when I can. They'll be about $1,000. Oh my God, that's so expensive. Well, no shit. People would buy them from him for $300-400 and flip them on eBay for $1,500. When we were at, again, one of the spring cons where they had the art auction. Help me here, Cory. Mad Artist, was it Jack Davis?
Yes, Jack Davis.
His piece went for, I think, about $900. And Nick told a story about how he kind of, I don't do cons anymore, but I'll send you something. I'm sorry if it's not any good. He sent a piece that was gobsmacked. I had people like, oh my God, why didn't anybody say it was going to be here? I would have brought an extra check to buy it with. And I'm like, sounds like a you problem, really. But Adam's piece went for, I believe, $1,800, and that wasn't
I
a
thought
full
my
size.
piece would go for a little bit more than that.
I
Wolfie
know.
wasn't there.
And that was
And it was before you lost all the weight.
that it was drawn on, you know. So I mean, I understand. I'm actually happy because it's like,
there's
hey,
more there now, ladies.
So I need a yay or nay from everybody here. Do I want to keep bitching about this? Because I mean, 2018's here, and do I just want to make it a running gag, or do I just, fuck it? If it shows up, maybe one day I'll have a geeking and say, hey, look who coughed up my commission. What do you think, Mr. Strode?
As long as it's entertaining, I won't edit it out.
So how about you, Wolfie?
Well, I think you should have.
Sorry.
I think you should have him on the podcast and have me on the podcast at the same time, and we can, blow him out of the water together.
Hang on a second. I got to write that one down. How about you, Dan?
Well, I think I'm with Cory. As long as it's entertaining, what the hell?
I will let the last word be Adam, because Adam, you actually talk probably more to creators than Cory and I do.
On whether or not you should keep bothering him, or just
I don't even know
keep
if I
talking
can
about
bother
it
him personally, because he doesn't. I have a feeling he's just blocked me on Facebook.
I usually I'm a big wuss, I guess, because I send somebody an email, and if I don't hear back from them, I'm just like, okay, on to the next person. But I also don't have $800 wrapped up in anything. As far as if you keep talking about it, to me, it's already kind of become a bit on the show. So yeah, why not?
While we go on to the next grieving, I am going to figure out the weeks it's been since that creator has stiffed me.
My next grievance
Yes?
is, dear fans, again, I'm going to talk to the fans. Gather round. Have a seat. I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh, deer fans isn't like the beginning of a letter, not like fans of deer, the animal. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm joining the party.
Okay, first off, nobody is fans of deer.
Hey, whoa,
They're
whoa, whoa! I like fence hunting.
They are disease-ridden vermin.
And damn tasty.
Yeah, but once you hold on, they buck.
Jesus Christ.
I just realized how many jokes were in that one sentence. Okay.
You know when a movie comes out that has a character or property that you like?
Did you say
like
booby or movie?
Movie.
Movies!
Oh, damn.
Because I like when those come out.
If boobies come out, I'm not on the show anymore.
I think there are 4 of them out right now.
Joe, please put your shirt back on. When a movie comes out based on, let's say Spider-Man or the Justice League or any of these things, do not get personally invested in how much money it makes, because you're not going to get any of the fucking money anyway!
I'm not?
That was very black.
Every weekend, Justice League came out, and it made $200 million. Oh, that means it's a great movie. And now it's made $600 million. And I don't care how much money a movie makes. I really don't. I don't care. It doesn't put a penny in my pocket. It doesn't change the fact that it's going to be out on DVD in 3 months, and it'll be on cable every fucking weekend for the next 9 years. Okay? Do not get invested in how much money these movies make, because it doesn't matter to you.
Then quit using the term invested.
Now that was good.
This episode's over. Nobody can top that.
Oh my God!
Oh, come on. The bucking deer.
I don't know. I guess he wants us to fawn over him.
Don't horn in his action.
So Cory, I take it you don't want to hear about any more doe.
Wait, that's a deer. A female deer.
Reginald!
What? I can help. Honest, I can help.
I may turn the show over to him. Dan!
Yes?
You're next.
My grievance is I'm not independently wealthy, damn it.
19 fucking weeks since he stiffed me.
That was better than mine. Okay.
Or would days be more fun?
It's been 19 since you didn't commission me.
How could you stiff me? 133 days.
I can tell you how I stiffed you.
3,192 hours.
Oh, good Lord.
Adam?
Yes?
You're up.
Oh, nah, I'm American, but okay. Okay. All right.
How to be an American?
I'm pretty sure you're up, Adam.
Yeah, up and at 'em.
Well, that's not even what I meant, but yeah, that's kind of funny.
Okay.
Up and at 'em.
That's getting you back for the more does more.
Okay.
If you're 14.
Oh, I guess we'll jump back to some entertainment and yeah, Iron Fist, Netflix. What the fuck?
I like an Iron Fist fuck.
I think Cory's probably found some of those during the TSA inspections.
That would be Joe. I don't do the TSA stuff.
I give them. I don't see.
No, neither of my jobs do I want anybody fucking with an iron fist, okay?
Yeah. Joe and Cory are so close. Cory receives, Joe,
I don't know. Here's the thing. I guess it's all the Netflix shows now. The blooms seem to come off the rose. let's see, right around the end of Daredevil Season 2, Episode 4, when you hear, "Hello, Matthew," and then it's just like all these fucking ninjas, and then... And then in Luke Cage, it starts off cool. Then, like, by the end of episode 7, they kill Cottonmouth, who's, like, the most interesting villain on that. And they bring in Diamondback, and he's all like, "Here's my exosuit. Doot, doot, doot." And then Iron Fist, it's just like, I don't know, okay? I can't. I watched it all in one day, and I think that says something about my own mental health. But...
I can't believe I watched the whole thing.
Pretty much. I mean, when your most interesting character is a drunken master that was on for like 5 minutes, I don't know. And Punisher was just boring, and Defenders, I don't know, was still like only 8 episodes, but was still like 2 episodes too long. I don't know. I love Marvel, but these Netflix shows are really, really wearing me down, I guess. I don't know. Then I guess they can't all be brilliant like Jessica Jones was. So, hey. So, Grievance, Iron Fist, Netflix shows in general. Let's make them shorter and more to the point. And that was a lame Grievance. I'm sorry, guys.
It could have been worse. It could have been one of Joe's grievances.
True that.
Speaking of Joe's grievances, Joe.
I ain't got any more. Tired of this.
Isn't that a grievance?
Oh, okay, I guess so. Your turn, Strode.
Next one is another thing about movies.
Yeah?
When you're putting out a movie and you say that this is kicking off a universe, you should probably wait until the movie is A, good, and B, people want to fucking watch it. The Mummy.
You mean not
Now-
Uncharted?
Now, this is not the first time Universal tried this. Dracula Unbound was supposed to kick off their dark universe, and it bombed, and they went, okay, we're not going to do that. And then it's, we got Tom Cruise to do The Mummy. This will be the start of a 10-movie franchise, and there will be, we're planning this and that and the other, and it comes out and nobody wants to watch it either.
So it was wrapped.
Yeah. That's called no selling, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty much. Put a Band-Aid on that joke.
But it kind of looks like the Dark Universe is now on hold. Yes, just like the Buckaroo Banzai sequel is on hold. Just like the reboot of My Mother the Car is on hold. No one wants to see these movies, okay? You should probably make a movie, and then if people really like it and want more of them, say, maybe we'll make another.
Transformers!
Robots in
In
disguise.
disguise.
No, nobody liked the second one of those.
Hey. Sitting right here.
There's only one Transformers movie, and it's from 1986.
Absolutely. And the one that says shit!
Yes. The one time it seemed like perfectly natural for it to be in there, and they cut it. I'm sorry, the moon you're on is being eaten. What are you going to say? Oh, darn. No!
Golly gosh! How'd Galactus get to this universe?
And the werewolves are going to be pissed.
And that's why there's no Dark Universe from Universal Studios.
Here's the thing that the movie studios have to understand. What Marvel has done is a fluke.
Yes.
Iron Man could have flopped so horrendously, and we would not be having this conversation. And we'd still be getting comic book movies just kind of churned out like they've always been churned out.
We'd get another Elektra movie.
Yeah.
Or Catwoman. Or Steel.
Well, that brings up the question, and again, this might be too happy for this show, but what do you guys think about Disney sucking up almost every creative property on Earth?
I feel bad for Dark Horse because I looked over, it's like, wow, Disney just bought all of their licensed products.
Oh, shit,
Buffy, Aliens, Predator.
Holy crap, they did, didn't they?
Just like they did with Star Wars. It's like, maybe there's somebody at Disney who's like, Fuck you, Dark Horse. You didn't accept my proposal in 1992? Fuck you. I will destroy you.
I was gonna say, yeah, like a disgruntled intern or something, and now they're like a bigwig at Disney.
Some intern next to the
Yeah, they're
CEO
like-
just going, no, buy that.
Yeah. Scott Ali grabbed his ass one too many times, and it's...
Oh!
Did I say that?
Why, yes, you did.
May I say I am so proud, Adam.
Normally we go after Eddie Berganza on here, but no, you go after Scott. Good for you.
Eddie never worked for DHC, man, so...
No. And Warner Brothers is a little too big for Disney to buy right now.
Yeah.
Well,
What was
we're
it, back
going to
in
have
80,
to go through our old Simpson episodes, because if it was on The Simpsons, it's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Well, back in 84, 85, Warner actually offered Marvel, hey, we'll license all our DC characters to you. And they begged off because they were already being sued for being a monopoly. So...
Huh.
I don't think Disney worries about being sued for a monopoly because
I think
they'll just buy
Hasbro
them
has
for it.
Monopoly, don't they?
I was going to say, we know what happened to Milton Bradley when they got sued for being a monopoly. Or maybe that was having it.
I miss the crickets.
I feel better.
Brad had a hot one. It was called Twister.
I'm feeling better about my humor.
Oh, that should never happen. Dan, it's your turn.
Nobody likes my jokes, God damn it! I am a comic genius.
Rhymes with penis.
Yes, it does. I remind him of that every day.
Dan, how long till you get the restraining order against your hand?
He's always got the right one. Use both, a double date.
Ooh, threesome.
Adam?
Yes.
Your turn.
This is... things are finally... They're coming to me. So I made one of the greatest commitments one can make in this world.
I heard you were divorced.
That's
Jeez,
forthcoming.
there was one thing we said not to bring up. One thing we didn't want to talk about. We just want to make it a pleasant podcast. And you had to go right for it.
And you should all commend me for not just going to that fucking well. Because that was right there. And I could have been like,
I want
to know what? Fuck all your comic books. Fuck all your like, my fucking life went to shit. But I
went out and bought double-ply toilet paper, and I wiped it up. No,
that's right.
Sorry,
because my life right now is pretty damn rad. So... But you know what isn't rad?
What?
We'll go back. The greatest commitment one can make, and that's deciding to start a new poll list at a comic book store. And when you walk in the next week on Wednesday, new comic book day, NCBD, baby, hashtag that shit, one would expect their new books to be in their goddamn poll box. The list was still sitting on the computer, and being that I am in Iowa, they don't get as many books on the shelves as they do back up at Hot Comics or The Source. So they didn't have Daredevil 596, and they didn't have Mr. Miracle number 5, and they didn't have Runaways number 4, and I got no new comic books last week.
Oh.
Sounds like somebody needs to quit bitching about the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Okay, on that, however, I that doesn't necessarily help being up here. At one point, I don't do the poll list anymore because they didn't help me. And I'll tell you why. I had stuff being pulled for me, and specifically, big Thanos fan, so I had all the Infinity stuff at one point. When Infinity Abyss Granted, it wasn't a good story, but when Infinity Abyss came out, I got in my pull bin. I got issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
That must have been at the shop that Joe and I discussed, where he finally had to go to DCB service because they were missing a whole bunch of his stuff.
Oh my god! Sorry, I just had to add to that.
You had one job to do. Pull my fucking books. And you messed at it.
I will say this. When Joe ran his shop, I never missed a book. Because if he ever missed one, I made sure that, Joe, get this book. And he did.
And there were times, yes, I did miss Paul, or more likely my employees, but I'd give them my copy. I'd reorder it. I'd go to Source or Hot Comics, and we'd trade books. You know, I'd work to try to get it. The only guys I felt bad for, I had a couple mail order guys up north, and they would miss books and never tell me. Or they would tell somebody and never get me the message. And I was like, I still feel bad to that day.
To that day?
Make me feel bad all this time. I got a lot of issues with these guys.
I feel bad about stuff, but not about that.
Don't worry, Joe. I'll make you feel good.
So now Wolfie is Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you feel good.
All right. He's the one
Oh, yeah.
Feel good. He's gonna be your Frankenstein. Sorry.
Well, that's good, because it could feed my Frankenstein. Joe, do you have any other grievances?
We're not worthy. We're scum.
What?
Joe?
I'm thinking, don't rush me. I hate being rushed. Everywhere I go.
You know who doesn't need to be rushed?
Geddy Lee.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Actually, it's Neil Peart, because he's the one who says he's retired. But no! These guys, our sponsors. That's right, here at the Solitaire Rose Radio Network, we have ads, and our first sponsor is me. That's right, your charming and delightful old Uncle Rat Bastard. I have my first book out with Dangerous Dan Mohr. It's the first 100 strips of our online web strip, Worldwide News, the story of the lowest rated cable news network. And you can get yourself a copy with commentary, with all sorts of extras, with signatures and everything. Just email Dan over at lordshadowflame@gmail.com. Our top sponsor, who's been with us since day one, is DreamHost. DreamHost.com. You need yourself a website, and DreamHost.com is the #1 web host in the whole known universe. Just head over to DreamHost.com, put in the code CRAYZ, KRAYZ, get $20 off your first year. How can you beat that? Our other sponsor is Graze, GRAZE.com. Healthy snacks for a healthy lifestyle. Just head over to Graze, put in the code CORYS3R5P. Your first and fifth box are free. You could get them weekly. You could get them bi-weekly. You could get them monthly. You could just order a whole bunch of them. It's great stuff to keep you away from the vending machine at work. Now, if you would like to leave a comment for any of the podcasts that we do, we'd love those. Go ahead and email us at solitairerosenetwork@gmail.com, or you can call 952-856-0519. Operators are standing by. Okay, it's just a place that will record your calls, but we'll play them on the air. We'll answer your questions. We love getting feedback. Tell us what you think. Ask a question. Suggest a topic. Be a guest. Send us your stuff. SolitaireRoseNetwork@gmail.com. If you would like to advertise on any of the Solitaire Rose radio shows, you can. Just email us at SolitaireRoseNetwork@gmail.com. Subject advertising. Thanks.
Yes, that's right.
And now that we're back, Joe, you had like 3 minutes to think.
Nope. I already talked about my grievance. I'm good.
So Dan's done, Joe's done. I have one left.
Then let me get my grievance in. Let me tell you, you people think that you should just throw me out of this podcast. Well, I know everything about comics. I can't believe that you do this to me every freaking year, and I'm
Joe?
tired of it. What?
Hang on, I got something. I'm going to break in the bat. Come here, Reginald. Come here. I got you over here. Come here.
My last grievance is that all of these comic book companies are
Spalding.
they're hot-shotting. They're not thinking long-term. They're not bringing in new talent and having them work their way up. Nope, they're hot-shotting. They're taking people, they're throwing them on books and not doing any promotion, not getting their names out there, not getting people to know about them. And I hate to say it, but comics have become a lot like any other entertainment, where you've got your big names, and you have a bunch of guys named Joe Brony.
Hey, whoa! I don't like that. I don't like sloppy joes. I rename it. Let's call it.
You don't like jabronis?
Leave the bronies out of it.
Adam,
you're a jabroni.
Okay, that's better.
I like bronies.
No, you make brownies.
Well, yeah. I like to pack them together.
But we've got to start building up the new talent. We got to start making. We got to start making new stars, especially when we're cranking out. DC's doing 2 books a month for most of their stuff. Marvel's doing 4 books a month for the Avengers. Start for the next 3 months.
Oh, God.
We got to kind of get some name talent so that people go, hey, I want to buy that new book by this guy, rather than America. What's that about? Who's that?
I agree fully. They should bring in new talent.
I even think that about DC. I mean, how many family books do they have? How many Superman books? How many Batman books do you need? You know, and really,
well, there were 6 Batman books in the top 10 in November, so obviously someone's buying them.
Oh, I just don't get it. It just doesn't. I don't know. None of them really appeal to me. Maybe it's just because there's no decent name on them. Grant, come back.
Well, Dan?
Yeah.
Is the well dry?
I guess Jim Starlin's going to be heading over to DC.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, sounds like they torqued him off. Well, they didn't really torque him off. They just said, yeah, we don't want you touching Thanos anymore. Yeah,
we'll talk about that in an upcoming episode, because I've been reading a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and it sounds like he pitched a story, and the editor forgot that he had pitched that story, and somebody else pitched a similar story, and the 2 stories were in production at the same time.
I want to touch Thanos.
That's some good thinking, Marvel. Hey, look, I can touch my Thanos.
Yeah. And with that ridge on his chin, oh my God!
I don't even need a gauntlet to do it.
Right,
That's
he's
right.
ribbed for my pleasure.
Bridged for Wolfie's pleasure. All right.
Check out those gems.
Adam,
Yes.
have at it.
Oh my God, his voice broke. Welcome to puberty.
That still happens every once in a while. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah.
When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange what you are into what you're gonna be. Na 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 na.
Geek.
Wow.
Ba
So,
ba 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 then.
Up your ass.
Woo! Up my ass.
you know, I'm
It's made of glass.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
No.
I like I said, I feel like of all the guys on the show, I was the one who could have come in here with the guns blazing, and I chose not to go that route because, well, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. So, well,
You chose the high road.
He's going fine. He's feeling sublime. He gave us his time. That's all.
It begs the question: what are you doing on this podcast?
Hey, I go the high road.
No, you go the road.
so do I. I mean, it's Iowa, and there's lots of meth. So high right now. So.
It's more of a contact high. You don't even have to buy the shit. It's just so prevalent.
Hey, they needed a Heisenberg down here in Swisher, so they had to step up.
Well, since Joe was belly aching and complaining that the entire episode is nothing but grievances,
Bitching.
I suppose I will allow 1 geeking each.
Oh fuck! I wasn't prepared for that.
You're awfully magnanimous, sir.
Joe,
Well,
since this episode's coming out 2 days before Christmas, what wonderful thing has
slapkirk.com.
happened to you?
Just
You
go.
talked about that last week.
Well, okay. Well, I've already complained about my giant-sized man thing. Whoa. No, finally got it. Source had their Jubilee Day, and it was still on the
Your
shelf. I got a
Jubilee
little
Day.
worried. I walked in the store, and they had cleaned off the entire shelf of all their oversized omnibus. I was like, do you know where the marble omnibus are? Over there. And I got it. I have my giant-sized man thing. Oh, it's so good, and I love it, and squeeze it, and call it George. Oh, it's funny, though. I mean, you go to some of the early podcasts, I was bitterly against omnibus, and now Cory and I are in an omnibus race. I mean, he's way ahead of me because, I mean, they structurally hold up his compound.
I have 2 more coming this week.
These are really good. And the one coming out this week in previews is the Runaway one. I think I'm going to pick that up because I've never read any of the Runaways. And I read the free comic book day they gave away, or Halloween Quest, whatever the heck it was. That was some damn fine reading. Now, if I could just get some of the ones oddly enough, the one I really want is the Secret Wars 2 omnibus. Not because I expect it to be good reading.
Because it won't be.
I'm looking at you, Onslaught, Avengers: The Crossing. But just because I want to see if Jim Shooter's, he says if you read them all in order, it's a much better story than if you just read the crossovers willy-nilly. And might be.
The thing I am geeking on is something that came in box day. It is an omnibus, but not a huge, stun a horse omnibus. It is Satellite Sam, the deluxe edition by Matt Fraction and Howard Chaykin. And it is a very sexy mystery set in the early days of television in the 50s. And Howard Chaykin, 50s, sex. You know this is going to be good. Oh, all the women in garters and and the story's good too. But man, Howard Chaykin's art is just this guy. It's too bad he spent so much time in TV and made real money because, damn, this art is good. Damn, this art is good. Dan?
Oh, well, let's see, geeking on. The Infinity War preview came out, and I'll tell you, I'm geeking on that. Considering I've been waiting for this since the mid-credit scene of the Avengers. So, it was like Cory when he hears omnibus. Oh.
A Corygasm.
Corygasm, that's right.
Wolfie?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What am I geeking on? I'll tell you what I'm geeking on. I am geeking on bucking ears.
That's it. I'm shaving.
That is true. I like bears, too.
Adam?
I love the silence.
You just kept me from making otter and twink jokes, so all right.
Jokes.
No, wait. Otters aren't as good because they're like, it's like a pipe cleaner.
Jeez.
It just kind of goes right through.
I'm geeking out about the end of this show.
Hi, Adam. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Wolfie.
Well, Adam,
yes.
This is probably our last live show of the year. So what have you got coming up for 2018?
Oh,
you've got changes.
I do.
Because you're not here anymore.
And that's kind of a really good segue about what I really honestly wanted to geek about is just 2018 and the kind of unlimited opportunities that seem to be presenting themselves before me. New life, more than likely finalized divorce, fingers crossed, a new place, new state, new life. new girl.
Hot librarians.
Yeah, Batgirl.
Marion the librarian.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm extremely optimistic and hopeful about 2018 for myself, for Panels and Pizza, because that has to change up a little bit because I no longer have access to the depth of creators that are up there in the Twin Cities comics scene. So as I evolve, the show must evolve, and I'm really excited about what's coming up.
Dan, what have you got coming up in the coming year?
Well, actually, the funny thing is, whereabouts in Iowa are you, Adam?
I am just right outside of Iowa City.
Iowa City, okay.
Yeah.
In 2018, actually, I've actually been asked to be a guest of honor at a couple different conventions, and one of them's in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, Cedar Rapids Comic-Con? Or
no, Icon.
Oh, Icon, the sci-fi convention. Not to be confused with Iowa Comic Book Club's Comic Book Icon. There's a little kerfuffle down here over those. So.
Yeah.
Fight!
That one confused me the first time I saw that one. The problem is I'd be on both sides. Because, I like Icon, the sci-fi one, because, they asked me as a guest of honor. I like the Icon one because I like comics.
So, awesome. Yeah, Cedar Rapids is great.
I'm on Sci-Fi Con.
Yeah. But I got that one. I got Lion Con.
Don't call it Comic Con. You'll have to pay the big boys.
Wasabi Con. Well, okay, I won't call it Comic Con. Did I call it Comic Con? I don't know.
Okay.
Is this like Happy Birthday, where every time I say it by accident, Michael Jackson will come and haunt me?
It could happen.
Took some
Only
thought, but it made
if
sense,
you were
didn't
much
it?
younger.
This is true. Look, unless I'm insulting somebody, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Doing a hell of a job.
Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, maybe I shouldn't tell people where I'm going because they won't come.
No. People will show up for you.
Oh, okay. Actually, I don't tell you why. Last year, I was at Icon last year, and like I said, I'm guest of honor next year. But for their booklet, they did want me to do some art advertising the next year. And they said, okay, well, here's you. You're the guest of artist guest of honor. Here's our author guest of honor. And I asked, well, I think it would be funny. Do you want me to put down actor guest of honor Wolfie B Bad? And they're like, yeah, that'd be really funny. I'm like, okay, great. All last year at the con, I had a lot of people come up to me and go, hey, I hear Wolfie's guest of honor next year. And I'd like to say that they were trying to give me crap, but no, they were honestly really excited about this fact. And the only truth, it's one of two things. Either they didn't read that I was the artist guest of honor, or they have no fucking clue who I am. So, maybe I'm not the guest of honor at Icon. Maybe Wolfie is. I'm one of his entourage. I don't know.
You're the minion who buys the table for him.
Exactly.
So are you Turtle or Johnny Drama?
Turtle or Johnny Drama?
Yeah.
I can guess that Dan has never seen Entourage.
I'm guessing not.
No, I have not seen Entourage.
All right.
Yeah.
Corey,
Joe, what do you have
that.
coming up?
Oh, no, he's going to start the podcast with it.
Oh, no, anything that embarrasses other people stays in.
It's your last chance to delete this. The following will have jokes
I guess
like
it's
this.
not the first joke that fell flat on this show, so hey.
It was the first one that was somebody else's than mine.
Dan and I have perfected the no-sell. Okay, I have perfected
that's right.
no-selling Dan.
That's true. I say a joke and Cory just sits there.
And I just walk out like Kevin Nash and blow a knee. So hey.
Joe, what are you doing next year?
Live. Don't talk to me about live. Brain the size of a planet, and I gotta sit here on this goddamn podcast. Oh God, I'm depressed.
Well, it looks like next year's going to be really fun.
Hey, whoa.
My goal is to actually get a microphone that works, not this POS I'm talking into, so I can do my solo Joes.
Joe, you do not get to do accents. I do accents. You don't get to do accents.
Oh, my
Don't
accent.
try to take Reginald from me.
Telling me not to accenting?
Yeah. Don't try to be Reginald. Trust me, it doesn't go well.
I don't have underwear that small. I could never be Reginald.
So, you two have heat, huh? Does that mean SpringCon in a steel cage?
What we're going to do is sit you down and have a Transformer show while you're listening.
Do that,
Cory,
live.
what do you think about RC? It's pretty hot, huh? Big those metallic boobs.
See, I know that that's an idle threat because I've offered Joe, hey, Joe, I got somebody who's writing a G.I. Joe comic currently who wants to be interviewed. Do you want to talk to him? I still haven't heard back from Joe.
I know nothing about G.I. Joe other than they stole my name.
I think it would be absolutely awesome to do one live, a Transformer live with Cory there, so people can watch him die.
Actually, they just watch me pick up a book and start reading. No, I don't want to do any more panels. The last time I did a panel, somebody went psychotic.
That's just in their house.
Yeah, but it was really fun to watch them try to do a panel afterwards.
Well, you can tell that story later, Dan. You and Joe can discuss that. Let's just say that the panels at LionCon, they started high, and then it was like right off a cliff.
Yeah. How about you, Cory? What do you got going on next year?
No new podcasts, just all the old ones.
Oh, really? It's just a year reruns?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking the year off. We're going to have reruns. No, hopefully the novels that I have done on Novelcast will be available as ebooks. I think I've ironed out the last few things I needed to learn. And early next year, I'm going to be buying up a bunch of ISBN numbers because the owner at Uncle Hugo's basically told me if I don't have ISBN numbers, no one will give a shit. And I've gone through most of my life without anyone giving a shit, so I think I might want to try people actually giving a shit.
Hang on a second. Here, I got one for you. Let me nail it.
Hey, 4-person no cell.
All right, let's try this one. What's brown and sticky?
Me after a good time.
Two good answers.
Dan and I are going to probably try to do bad advice more often.
Yes.
I'm lining up interviews. There will be a lot of interviews next year. People you know and people you haven't heard of yet. And also some returning creators. Yeah. And then one of the things that I've been talking about with Joe, we are going to have a guest probably about once a month because it was so much fun to talk with Adam last week. This week was so much fun. It's fun to have guests, but it's also fun to do our regular show. So why not do both? Why not? Why not?
I don't know. I can't come up with something.
And I will probably be sleeping at the group home all the time, just like this year. Hey, I got to pay for these omnibuses somehow. Well, believe it or not, kids, you've listened to us blather on about Festivus for an hour and a half.
Wait, there are kids listening?
Yeah, of course.
Excellent.
Usually in the car with their parents.
Oh.
And then afterwards, the parents take 90 minutes to explain what we were talking about.
No, it's usually the kids explaining it to the parents. That's why they hate it.
Actually, it's more a therapist. It's more the kid explaining it to the therapist in 20 years.
All right, kids, a blumpkin is...
A San Diego.
No, we're not going to describe a blumpkin. However, we will talk about eggs Danny Thomas style. So first you get a glass coffee table.
2 podcasts and a cup.
Can I be the cup?
We do this every year, don't we? Aren't you sad that we missed out on one of these because I decided to evict my gallbladder? Someday, Joe, I will tell the story of the whole gallbladder thing where it's like, God, I'm in a lot of pain. I don't know if I could drive. You need to leave because I got to go to bed. Gee, I hope I make it home without dying.
There's true friendship, I tell you that right there.
Yes. We were family. We were family. So, believe it or not, kids, you've put up with this sort of shenanigans for a year now.
And now you have a Festivus grievance. Oh, fuck. I just wasted 2 hours listening to that damn podcast.
And as we say every week, the comic we like the least, we still like better than the comic that you like the most. Dan?
Yes?
Oh, fine. Adam?
Yes?
Pick it up,
Joe?
boy.
Do you know why you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so good at it. Hit my music!